Yay. All right, let's get started. Well, welcome to this little session today. I wanted to jump on here because specifically a week ago, I did a free 3-day online healing art retreat. And there was like over 600 people that signed up for it. It was really epic. We had some people that were able to join us live, which was really powerful because I love seeing your faces and being able to interact with you. So I was going over the responses. I put out a survey, say, hey, what did you learn? What do you want to learn more about? And the response that I got was, we'd like to know more about how to heal our blocks, okay? Because day one was about, what is your desire, right? This was all about nurturing your soul. What is your soul desire? You got to listen, right? So we did art about that. And then day two was, okay, what's stopping you from showing up to your desires? What are those limiting beliefs? How are you sabotaging yourself, right? Whether it's perfectionism, whether it's you don't feel like you're worthy enough, that you got guilt, you don't have time, you don't have the money, whatever you feel like it is. What was that, right? And then day three, we talked about, okay, well, what if you actually worked on those blocks and you worked on healing that? How would that energy, how would you make a ripple effect in the world? Like what would change? Like how would you show up differently, right? How is it going to affect you personally? Because it will, right? If you work on what you need to work on, you're going to feel better, and it's going to have a ripple effect to those around you. It's going to have a ripple effect to your family, your friends, to your business, to all that kind of good stuff. Lisa says she likes my tea. Thank you. It's all about trusting the universe. Right. So we are going to talk about how your wounds, right? Because a lot of that stuff that's our blocks that are stopping us are actually our gateway to your power, right? So you're like, wow, how does that work, right? So we're going to just dive deeper, and I'd like to have a discussion about that and you see where you're at with this process. So if you have not watched those 3 days and the online healing art retreat, it was totally free. You can always go back to my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Leah Guzman. And those 3 days are there. So I highly recommend just go and do the work, right? Go ahead and do the art that's related to that. So for today, I asked you to just grab your journal. We are going to be doing an exercise because I want to love you guys up. This is what you requested. This is what you wanted. So I want to be able to, offer you something today. We're going to have that discussion. For those of you who are on the Zoom, I'd love for you to, if you could put on your camera, because I love seeing your faces. It just makes me happy. There's a few of you here. Thank you. Just so that I feel like I can connect with you, because this is the reason I do it, is so that I can have that connection, right? All right, let's get going. So it is April, and it's such a good time for manifesting, because it's actually, if you follow astrology, I love astrology. It's actually the astrological new year, like the new year starting. So it's a really great time to start things. And then putting out, what you like. We just had a new moon. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of good energy. So when we're talking about, stepping into those things that we want, we need to look at where our energy is, right? Because everything is energy. We got to look at, what's our personal and what's our collective wounds, right? Like, what are we picking up on? What is us versus what is somebody else? And we got to learn how to energetically feel where we're at, right? Meaning that if you get triggered by someone, right, it's a lot of times everyone's a mirror for us, right? So this is an opportunity, instead of just like pushing it back, saying, oh, it's them, they're terrible. It's an opportunity to look at yourself and say, okay, where am I energetically? How can we be more curious of why that energy is there? Okay, and this relates to every single aspect of your life. For those of you who work with me, you know that I work holistically. I like to look at, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others, your relationship with your time, your relationship with your art, your relationship with your money, everything, right? It's all interconnected. So we need to be curious of saying, like, if we're feeling blocked, if we're having anxiety related to something, if we're feeling kind of stuck somewhere energetically, it's time to embrace it, right? It's time to just get really curious and learn how to dive in deeper. Because a lot of times when we have those kind of wounds, whether it's past trauma or it's these beliefs that we didn't even realize are there that are stopping us, that wound is actually it's that gateway to your power if you do the healing work, right? A lot of times you want to push it away, right? So I had talked about in the 3-day online healing retreat that part of it was like my dark night of the soul, when I was feeling, just burned out, always giving and never giving to myself. So that my dark night of the soul was that my big lesson of, I got to self-care. I really needed to learn how to nurture myself. That's what I was missing, right? So I had to learn that. I also had to learn how to get support, because a lot of times we can't see our patterns and behaviors of what we're doing on our own. And I don't know if you're like me, but I always feel like I have to do everything on my own. So that was a learning lesson too, of feeling that, I opened myself to receive support. I reached out to an art therapist and I got that support. So that was another learning lesson. The other learning lesson I got from it was that I wanted to put my art out into the world, and I never done that before. Like, I always made art, but I never like said, hey, I want to sell it. Hey, I want to share it with other people. And a part of that, I had to learn about money and what my art was worth and what number I went upon. So I had to look at my own self-worth, and I actually had to really get intimate with my relationship with money. So that was another learning lesson. So it's never just like one thing. Like I said, it's interconnected. And a part of going deeper was, having that intimate relationship with all those aspects. But it was like my wound actually became my strength, because now I feel a lot more confident. Not that the wounds don't come back up, because they will. That's a part of us, right? It's a part of our story. It's a part of our learning and our expansion. So there's always lessons to learn. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the chakras and how they incorporate with those wounds and how that energetically, because someone had asked, like, how does that work? If you happen to have any questions about what I'm talking about so far, you're welcome. If you're here on the Zoom, you're welcome to ask questions as we go. I can check out the chat. So I was talking about, that subconscious mind and not always being able to see those blocks. And a lot of times it's with our language that we say to ourselves, like, say we want that support, and we'll tell ourselves, oh, I can't afford it, right? So we never actually ask the universe, how can I get that, right? And so it's having that relationship of being open to receive and get curious of, like, how can I make this happen, right? Because a lot of times that subconscious mind, actually it's all the time, but that subconscious mind is ruling our world. It's making the decisions, and that subconscious mind was created from our parents' beliefs, what they told us. Could have been teachers. Maybe a teacher said something bad to you one time and that just stuck. And that's been that, the language that has been going on in your head. So part of this process, the rewiring, I would like to say it, is first you got to be conscious of it. And that's the whole reason I did the online retreat, because I wanted you to be conscious. And the second part, it's not an instant, oh, it's a change, right? Because diving into those wounds, diving into those portals, it takes time to create the new pathways. And you can do it through art. That's what I love. That's what my program is about. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that as well, is that rewiring is of that process of creating that relationship and really nurturing it, so that you can make new choices. And every time that new choice, you're empowering yourself, you're going towards the direction of your desire, right? So I've talked about my new book a lot. I've been sharing it with you guys. We did exercises for my new book, which I'm really excited about. I have it here somewhere. It's over there. I have the deck in front of me. The Oracle deck. But talking about the chakras, what we are looking at is that we get this great desire, right? That's coming in. And that is, we are a co-creator. We are co-creating with the universe, right? We got this download. And so If you are feeling in alignment, because if you are in alignment with your chakras, if you're in alignment with your energy, then you're going to manifest things really easily. Things come to you, it's like you're in that flow. But if we get stuck, which was those wounds are there, the wounds are there to teach us a lesson. This is where we have to dive deeper. So if you're not feeling connected to source, if you're feeling out of alignment, you are going to feel probably bouts of depression, feeling disconnected with something, right? So part of that healing is through gratitude. It's through meditation, right? Giving yourself that time to connect with nature, connect with the source, whatever you want to call it, God, universe. And then moving it down to that third eye, right? Of using your imagination, dreaming big, just pretending like that whatever it is that you desired is already here, right? Giving yourself that time to play with that. And if you're feeling blocked in that, you are going to, not be able to dream big. You might feel stuck in that and feel very limited. And then even going down to your throat chakra, right? And the throat chakra is letting people know what your desires are and talking about them, right? Part of like my desires is being able to support you on your journey, right? And then letting people know, even me showing up today, because I want to talk to you about how you can support yourself, is being able to speak your desires, right? And if you're feeling blocked in that way, then there's probably a lot of inner child healing that needs to happen to open that chakra up. In your heart, it's all about making those connections. It can get blocked by grief. It can be blocked by resentment, and loss of relationships as well. That is very common with that heart chakra, like with the grief. And it's not that this is like a bad thing. This is part of life. This is part of loving and part of connecting, right? And then going down to that solar plexus, that's standing in your power. That's feeling worthy of your desires and having that self-confidence. So if that one's feeling blocked, you're going to have a lot of shame. You're not going to be able to like really step into your power. It's going to feel blocked because of the unworthiness and not feeling that you're even worthy to receive those things. Moving that down to the sacral chakra, that is looking at that joy, right? Having fun, creating your desires, and blocked by guilt. Okay, feeling guilty for even wanting something, right? Or not having enough fun. And then moving that down to that root chakra. And this is where a lot of, I think, creatives get stuck. It's between that root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. So the root chakra is all about bringing that desire down to the reality and creating your structure, having discipline, having consistency, right, in your day. Because if you can have one successful day, it's going to really relate to a successful life. So that root chakra is related to your family, your home, money, all this stuff that's going to ground you, right? And getting really in touch with that. So it's matching each of like what you're feeling, first identifying what am I feeling, and then where is that stuck in your body, right? So that root chakra feeling imbalanced is anxiety, right? Looking at our needs, yes. So as I'm speaking about that, what I wanted to do today is to do a little exercise. So you can just go grab your journal, it could be an art journal or just your regular journal that you write in. And the activity is to write out what you want, right? We did art about this in day one, but now I just want you to write, just claim it. Just say, this is what I want, right? Just give me a minute to go ahead and do that. Make your statement. I want this. And then the next step is to write out all the reasons of why you can't have it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go ahead and write out, why can't you have that? What are you telling yourself? Why can't you have it? Is it money? Is it your time? Is it because you don't believe that you can have it? What is it? What's stopping you? Patricia says, I would love to have the book and the deck of cards. Oh, you're welcome. They are on my website. You're welcome to check them out there. The book is actually on Amazon. I don't have the decks on Amazon yet, but just to let you know, you're welcome to find them there. All right. So I'm going to do this since we have people here on the Zoom. I'm really excited about that. I'm sorry you can't see them on Instagram. Oh, can you tell me your question one more time, Maidra Fazit? I don't know if I said your name correctly, but yeah, I want you to go ahead to write this out now. Your desire, and then what do you think is stopping you? So if someone would be brave enough and is able to put their camera on, I would like to hear what it is that you feel, what you want and what you feel like is stopping you. We're going to just do a little exercise related to this. Who is willing to join me here? Anybody? I promise you it's more fun when we engage. Everybody has too much stuff going on in the background. Maybe that's what it is. Lisa, you have your camera on. Would you like to participate?
Sure. Okay. So I want a new home with a larger art studio and stuff. And so what's stopping me is just timing, and we have to sell our house first. So just all that stuff. But I know what I want. And then just selling more of my art. And I said, what's stopping me? I guess to put myself out there more. I only put it on Instagram. I don't do like Pinterest and Facebook. And I know I probably could put it more places. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's what I have for now. Those two things.
So tell me again what you feel like is stopping you. You
With
said,
selling my art.
yeah, you said your time. Something was about time.
Oh, timing. That's selling my house. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and what else do you feel like is stopping you from putting your artwork out there?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I know. I don't know. Maybe. I know that's hard, Leah. I know what's stopping me. I guess how I will be received. I don't know.
Excellent. This is
like,
why we're asking these really deep questions, because if you want something and it's not happening, you have to be curious of why. How can I? That's what I'm saying. The best question you can ask is, how can I sell more? How can I put my artwork out there? So you think it might be how you will be perceived. You're thinking that might be the underlying, you haven't accepted yet, but that could be.
like I share it with my art friends community, people I feel safe with. Like, it's harder to share with people like I know in actual life. That's hard for me. And also like the steps to take. Like I sort of know in my head, I just haven't taken that action, like an email list, just making it professional and legit. So I'm still kind of like in just hobby mode, just because I'm more comfortable in the making of the art, not the marketing. I think that's it. It's the marketing, like that's part of it. I don't.
You feel like the marketing is stopping you. Okay.
Yeah.
Of going from the hobby mode to being professional about it. Okay.
Yes. And it's scary, like, because that's a bigger leap, like,
right.
Right?
Yes.
Like,
it is uncomfortable, right? Because you're going to have to stretch yourself to be seen. And you have to stretch yourself to let people know that you are creating something that you want people to bring into their world, right? And I know because I've been there. It's like I was saying, that's what I had to learn of, okay, well, how do I want to show up? And if I'm showing up, how will that be perceived? Okay. So part of this exercise is when you wrote down what is stopping you, you're going to create an affirmation of the opposite. So you says, is it like, if you feel like what's stopping you is the marketing, you would say that one is the marketing is stopping me from selling my art. The affirmation that you create from that is the opposite, is my marketing comes to
Oh.
me easily, freely, and it's fun, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So each block that you figure out that is stopping you, like you're scared to share your art with your personal friends, like people that know you, they're in your life, right? Then the opposite is I am so open to share my love of art, and it is well received by everyone that I love. Okay. This is part
Yeah.
of that rewiring, right? This is part of, changing those subconscious beliefs that are ruling your world right now to open yourself up and say, well, how can I? How can I make these connections? Because it's all about relationships, right? It's all about relationships with the people that you love, and then sharing that love, because you're creating it because it brings you joy, right? You're creating it because it's nurturing you and it's filling your soul. So that's the part where that's what you're sharing with others. And I know you're part of the Creative Soul Society membership, which is awesome. And we're actually going to be doing on next Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday, the following week, about how to nurture your community through email, right? Like, what do your emails look like? So this is part of taking yourself to the next level of creating your list, letting people know about it. And I understand, because I've been there before, where I just like, oh, I don't want to be like marketing and being sleazy of, pushing myself, but that's not what it's about. What it's about is, if you change your perception or perspective about it, is it's really about sharing your happiness, and you want to share that love with them. Okay.
Yes. Okay. And also I wrote like connection. It's about connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I guess, I have fears of like being rejected. You know what I mean? If I put all this out there, but it's okay. And also, I know, because I'm never thinking like about sharing, because, I'm sort of private in some ways. Like I can be an oversharer in some ways, and then I'm sort of private in other ways. So it's like that balance of trying to, you know, be open, but kind of not too open because I don't know, right? There's some super extroverts who will just totally put themselves out there. And I kind of not like that.
That's
You know
okay.
what
I mean, you honor where you're at. You think about like what your boundaries are of like
Okay.
how much you want to share. So maybe like a part of your marketing, some people include their kids in everything, and that's just a part
Right.
of who they are as a person, and that's part of their marketing. It doesn't make it good or bad. It's just who they are and how they want to express themselves. So this is a deeper dive again of who do you want to connect with, and where do you want your art to go, and who you want it to be received by? Because it's true, not everyone's going to love your art, and that's
Right.
just life. Not everyone likes everybody, and that's
Right.
great. So, and that's okay, but you want to find your people. So part
Yes.
of this is finding your people. The only way you can find your people is by showing up.
Yep. And that's what I put. I put that too. When you asked me, I just didn't say it. Where did it go? Because I did. I said like finding my art tribe and my heart healing tribe. I put that too after selling my art. I know that was one of it. See, it does go deeper and deeper, right?
Yes. Yeah. So this is good that we take the time to ask these questions. Okay. So this is part of the healing. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want you guys to level up. I want you to, look at the wounds and say, okay, where are they coming from? How do I need to rewire them? And it's a process. It's not like it's like a one-time thing. This is a part of, creating these affirmations and putting them on your phone, seeing them every day, right? And this is a part of looking at, building yourself up, and you might need support, because if it's continuing to happening and you're not doing it, you're going to be stuck. And if you're stuck, you say, okay, well, where do I need to get that support? Right.
Right. Yes. Thank you
Thank
so much.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa, for being brave. I know it can be a little scary sharing it, but thank you. This is part of
Oh,
that throat chakra, expressing
right.
yourself, right?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, awesome. So we just heard from Lisa, like what she wanted and what her blocks are. Um, like I said, it's not a quick fix. It's about diving deep and really like healing those wounds and seeing where they're coming from. And sometimes it's hard to see that. Like it could even be that at least something happened in Lisa's past where she was rejected by someone, or something happened and that had stopped her right, from showing up now. Okay. And that's where I do the deeper work. So for those of you who are interested in kind of leaning in, like, well, how do you work with people? Yeah, I just wanted to let you know this is part of my throat chakra, is expressing how I love supporting creatives. That's why I come on here and share these techniques with you. I did a little visual today because I'm a visual person. I wanted to make this like all nice and professional, but I just wrote it out just so I can get my thoughts out. I do offer online art therapy, right? So I put this on this column. My online art therapy it's 14 one-on-one sessions. And a part of that process is you're focusing on your own self-care, you're nurturing your creativity, you're processing your emotions through art, and you create that structure for your desires, right? That's what I support you with. And you're going to gain clarity, right? You're going to learn how to use your art as a guide, as an oracle, right? Because your art has messages, right? You're going to be able to nurture that part of your life, which is amazing because I use my art as an oracle all the time. Okay, so that's one part, that one way you can work with me. Another way is there's a little bit of business aspect. So for those of you who want to dive deeper into my Art of Healing and Manifesting program, that is, you get all this, which is the 14 one-on-one sessions. I give you that because I always know that we all have wounds and we all need to do some reprogramming. But the other part is the business part. And so this is the fun part, because this is about how you can take your gifts, whatever it is that you want to share. Maybe you want to do healing workshops. Maybe you want to have a podcast or a membership group or whatever, put your artwork out into the world. I'm going to show you how you can share your gifts and make money doing it. Okay. So we're going to do that by, we have a launch group. It's going to be starting April 30th, where I'm going to show you how to nurture a community of your like-minded people. So it's calling in your tribe, right? So Lisa just had mentioned that. It's like, I got to find my people. So this is a part of that process of nurturing your tribe. You also get to be a part of the Creative Soul Society membership. This is a weekly, I'm sorry, not weekly, we don't meet every week, but we meet a couple of times a month and we make art together. So for example, next Sunday, we're actually going to be creating our treasure map. And the treasure map is what we want to focus on, a visual focus of, where we're going to put our energy in the next year, right? So looking at our map and how can we get there, right? That's the best question, asking the universe, how can I? Because you let the universe take care of that, right? It says, trust the universe. You let the universe take care of the details, but you just be open to receive what that desire is, right? And then give yourself that opportunity to get the downloads, right? And you get the downloads through your art, through taking the time to nurture yourself. Oh, it's good stuff. Very, very, very good stuff. So I just wanted to share that with you. I have someone here that just wrote. So if you have any questions, please let me know. You're also welcome to sign up for a Creative Soul session if this is like something that you're interested in. They're totally free. It's a 30-minute consultation with me where I can give you a little deeper dive into your plan, your direction. I could support you in some way. And then if you want to work with me longer in a deeper way, we can do that. Patricia says, my desire is making art every day, selling my artwork and purpose to help others. What is stopping me is perfectionism, procrastination, and marketing. All right. Thank you, Patricia, for sharing. So let's go into, for yourself, of whatever that statement is about perfectionism, and then writing your affirmation for the opposite. And I would love to see what those affirmations are. So it might take you a minute to write them. Go ahead and put them in the Creative Soul on the Retreat group so that we can support you and cheer you on, right? Or if you get stuck in writing those affirmations, you're welcome to get support, because that's what we do here, is support each other in that process. All right, so I'm just wrapping this up. And if you have any other questions, you're welcome to ask me. Oh, Prema just asked me a question. I'm going to answer that here. It says, what is art therapy exactly and how does it help? Oh, beautiful, beautiful question. Art therapy is a mental health profession. So it is just like going to see either a licensed mental health counselor or a psychologist. And you go to express your emotions, right? But instead of verbally having to talk about things, you get to create art about them. So as as a um, as an art therapist, you have rigorous training. You go through 2 years master's degree, and you learn the different theoretical techniques so you can support your clients. So whatever it is that you want to work on, Prema, maybe it is, building your self-confidence, maybe it is healing past traumas, whatever is your goal, maybe it's just expressing yourself, right? Being able to express yourself more, nurture that creativity, your self-care. We do that through the art making process. So I guide you in specific techniques for you so that you can get to your goals, because it's specialized. So it's the relationship between us that you're making art, but then you're also relating it to your life. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any more questions about that, I would be happy to talk to you about it. But it's a really powerful way to nurture yourself. Okay, I'm gonna just look at the Zoom. Joanne says, thank you. Margarita Spear says, what is the biggest difference between art therapy and expressive arts therapy? Is it just modes of expression? Yes, that's exactly it. So expressive arts therapy includes like drama, dance, different ways to express yourself. And art therapy is just specifically with the art, right? All right. All right. Great questions. Thank you. So again, if you'd like to dive deeper for that free consultation, you're welcome to schedule one. I'm here for you, and I'm sending you a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Lots of love, and take care, and let me know what comes up. I want to see those positive affirmations that you're moving into, right? So show me that in the group. You're welcome. Bye.